Hello, it's Nikki. Sorry, I don't know why I'm giving you a mega wave. Welcome back to Wednesday, where I talk about speaking up and content and your digital disco and putting yourself out there as we bring this year to a close. But actually, whatever time you're watching this, I want to open up this space for a bit of reflection time so you can check in and see what's going on and what's working and what you need to tweak and where you can work smarter and not harder. And all of these great things. I've actually got something coming very soon for you to use as a tool. This is a tool that I've been using for years, and I find it to be very effective, not only personally, but it's something that you can adapt and use however you wish to. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, if you want to join your digital disco, there are 3 ways to do that. If you want to join Speak Up, there are 3 ways to do that as well. And it can help you have that visibility plan and get things moving and shaking. So let's do some reflecting. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. You might need it. It might help you. Number 1, when you think about your visibility boundaries for this season, what comes up for you? So what are your rules? And I want you to think about this very consciously, strategically, and proactively. Because especially if something like visibility for you is something that goes to the bottom of the pile, or it's something you want to avoid, you don't really enjoy doing, so you kind of, you shuffle it to the side and hope for the best. I want you to instead take a much more strategic route and ask yourself some questions. So, are you going to take some time off over the Christmas period or the time coming up? And again, you can use this whether you're going on holiday or whatever it might be. Are you going to take some time off where you're completely offline? If that's you, great. Put things in place, put an out of office on, and be really clear and let your clients and your customers know in advance. And secondly, what are your rules about coming back? Or if you're going to do, some of the time online, what are the boundaries? What are the rules? And I want you to be very clear about that, because it can go one of 2 ways. Sometimes you feel like you just have to keep producing content and putting yourself out there and documenting everything just to keep things moving. Or sometimes most people do the opposite, where they fall off completely and then they wake up and then it's suddenly February and they're thinking, I'm not where I want to be in my business. And oh gosh, I feel like I've lost my flow, I've lost my rhythm, and it really puts them back. So instead of just leaving things to chance or figuring it out depending on how you feel, which I know is the more favorable thing, but for a moment, I want you to think about how you can do this in a way that suits you. Number 2, during this time, can you still welcome work, sales, opportunities, emails? Now, this might be an out of office thing and you might not want to be checking your emails, and in that case, that's fine. But I'm here to say, December, early January is a time where people are spending money. They want change, they want results, they want gifts, they want all of the things. And so many people take themselves out of that game. They miss that opportunity. And so I want you to think about right now, are you still available to receive these things? And again, you might have to put your own boundaries in, your own things in place where you say to yourself, right, I'm just going to look at this at lunchtime every day, just check in, just to make sure that things are ticking along nicely, and then I'm going to close down my laptop. People are spending money all of the time. And especially if we look back to COVID times, the rate of sales, the times of days where people were buying things that people were interested in, it was 24/7. And so I want you to be able to have that 24/7 period. And of course, somebody might inquire and you might not want to do the work until the 1st of January. No problem. You make your business work for you. But I just want to float the question, because this is all about doing it consciously and proactively, so you are in the driver's seat and not leaving things to chance. Number 3, I want you to in whatever capacity suits you, that feels good to you. Feel good and top yourself up over Christmas. Maybe that's more sleep. Maybe that's more laughs. Maybe that's more time offline. Maybe that's more fresh air. Maybe that's a slower pace. Maybe that's you leaving your house and going on adventures or doing things or catching up on hobbies or whatever it might be that you really love. This is your opportunity here to do those things. And I know that Christmas holidays, and it's definitely not as relaxing if you have children, but generally the pressure from the outside world has calmed down a little bit. If you feel good, if you feel like the best version of yourself, if you feel connected with yourself, it's much more likely that when you are visible, it's going to feel more authentic, more in integrity, and it's going to feel better. And I think that we forget this sometimes, that most people just go, well, just do more. And actually we need to take a step back sometimes and top ourselves up and rejuvenate ourselves. And that's okay as well. Number 4, gather stories, conversations, pay attention. And I'm not saying that all of it is content, but I like the Christmas holidays in the way that sometimes I cook things that are different. I watch different things on TV. Sometimes it's always one of those like on Boxing Day evening. Everything's very relaxed. You might have some of the greatest conversations with your family ever. You might also have some of the greatest rows, depending on your family situation. That's another story for another time. But we're in that storytelling environment. There's maybe nostalgia, there's maybe memories, maybe you are going back to a childhood home and you meet somebody that you used to know. Gather all these stories. These parts of you that make you uniquely you are important and valuable and could be great for content as well. It goes without saying, you don't have to bare your soul. You don't have to share your life history on the internet. You can just use a little thing of this to tell a story, to plant a seed, to get a point across. Finally, get inspired. I want you to come back in this next chapter, whether it's next month, next year, in that I'm good to go. I'm ready to rock and roll here. And often that's with inspiration. So read that book, listen to that podcast. And sometimes it's listening to that podcast while the kids are playing on the floor and you're peeling spuds, and that's fine. Look around you. All the things that you want to do, everything you want to be, do, have, and feel, somebody has figured out how to do it. It's our job to be detectives here and go and suss it out. See what's happening. See how you can get that help and support. What are your blocks? What are your obstacles? What's the bit in between that is slowing the process down? Get inspired, get it all written down, get a plan together, check out my new offering, which is coming very soon. And it's all content. It's all content. I hope that has left you with lots of ideas bubbling. Let me know where you're going next. As I mentioned, look out for that new offering, or go to your digital disco, or go over to Speak Up, and let's see more of you in 2025. Lots of love. Bye.